The day is Sunday, 28th of September, 2025. Let's do the crossword. Okay. Caveat, I think it's caveat emptor. I don't know why I know that. Driveway, goo, that would be tar. Use that on your driveway. Caveat emptor is Latin for buyer beware, I presume. Title heroine described as handsome, clever, and rich, with a comfortable home and happy disposition. Jane Eyre, potentially? I mean, E. Oh, Emma. Emma, that's right. It's a different person entirely. I believe that's Jane Austen. All right, contents of a flagon, that would be ale. I'll come back to that one because it's in italics, so it's kind of scaring me off for now. Two down, dough, moolah. It's another word for money. Remove surgically as tissue. No, not too sure. All right, let's see. Fly-catching bird with a name derived from Greek. So it's in italics, which suggests something that I'm not too sure about, especially because it crosses with 39 across, which is also in italics. Class that might cause some high schoolers to blush. Could it be health? Simply health. Now, what does that have to do? So health class, often they would do reproductive health in that sort of class, and I can see why that would cause high schools to blush. The fly-catching bird with a name derived from Greek, I'm not too sure. I don't really see why each is being highlighted by the other. I'll need to come back to that. Been asleep, say. Not too sure. As a whole, not too sure. Arizona County or indigenous people. No, not sure. Moore's law is a concept in computing technology, which held for quite a long time, up until very recently, saying that, what was it, integrated circuits would halve in size every 2 years or something along those lines. And then they hit a physical barrier and they weren't able to go any further. All right, 27 across, Ole Miss athletes, I have no idea. Tenured profs are often, I mean, they often have PhDs. I don't know if that was my first thought, PhD. Let's see if that helps. Try some water. No. Spice that's characteristic of Hungarian cooking. I believe that's paprika, which you'll often find in goulash. So P, I guess, does work. All right. 8 down, small battery or an org that might help with the battery. That would be AAA. AAA battery, AAA being some sort of automotive club. Mother of Joseph and Benjamin. I have no idea. Book after Song of Solomon. I have no idea. French cocktail made with creme de cassis. That would be a Kia. Kia Royal, I believe, is the full name. Mirrored, aped, perhaps, as in you've aped someone's behavior. Try some water, has a sip, I think. Not any closer to the mother of Joseph and Benjamin. I don't really know who they are. Alternative to a nanny, not too sure. It's all in your head, psyche. Your psyche exists in your head. They tell me, not too sure. Oh, wait, yes, they tell me would be I hear. So I've heard. Small inlet, not too sure. Sprawling Indian metropolis, Delhi, perhaps? Yes, I think it's Delhi. Texters beats me, IDK, I don't know. Let me check on that. Could it be I'll look or something along those lines? Not too sure. One named singer born in Nigeria. Is that Seal, perhaps? No, I'm not 100% sure of that. It could be Sade. Is it Sade? That, I want to say Sade. I'm going to leave that in for now. Exploited could be used. Yeah, woman's name. That's the first 3 letters of 46 across, which I don't have. I'll have to come back to that. As a whole, no. Still don't know about the Arizona County or indigenous people. I'm not really sure about this MO beginning for something like that. Moves elsewhere. Something? I think it would be something. Relocates or I'll have to come back to that. Let's see. No, not any closer here. No, I'm not aware of a bird that might look like that. Let me check out what's going on down here. Online site for DIYers, that would be Etsy. A mammal with long whiskers. Huh, not too sure. Beginning with a Y. No. It's either eBay or Etsy, so it would end in Y regardless. Where are hurricane forms? Hurricane forms in the sea, I suppose, but that doesn't, it's not long enough. Which? Oh, goodness. What's happening here? No, I'm not too sure. Info commonly shown on a board game box. I'll have to come back to that. Demanding entertainer would be a diva. Happy with that. Fatboy Slim and David Guetta are DJs. Weekend Update is on SNL, Saturday Night Live. Outback Baby would be a Joey, so a Joey is a baby kangaroo. Info commonly shown. Could it be age level, perhaps? Age level is not necessarily the phrasing that I would tend to prefer, but kind of makes sense. Matrix then would be array. Where are hurricane forms? Oh, I know this one. E pluribus unum, unum, meaning from many one. Oh, walrus. Okay, an animal with long whiskers would be a walrus. So then, I'm not sure what this online site for DIY is. Then I'm not aware of sites that end in W. I might have to come back to that. So that affects where a hurricane forms. Ocean. Ah, yes, of course, rather than the sea. Which still. Oh, hag. Hag. All right. Oh, eHow. eHow is an online site for learning how to do things. Gotcha. I'm still not sure about this man's name. I'm even less convinced with the E and A in those positions. Let's see, 47 down. Time out, perhaps. Vacation. Great. Called, termed. So you call something, it goes by some term. Attack, not sure. Back, not sure. Initialism coined by a US Air Force captain. So I would think of something like Fubar or Moab, but obviously those don't fit. I'll have to come back to that. Error message on a Blu-ray device, no disc, perhaps. That would be an error message on a Blu-ray device. No, still not sure. Don't know about this X. I'm wondering if that's... I feel like there's another X somewhere, so that could be related somehow to these crossings. I'm not sure exactly how. I'll have to come back to that. Boils with rage, seethes, perhaps. Come to... Not sure. For sure. Not sure. Gets 40 winks. Sleeps. No. Sleeps doesn't fit. See, gets suggests that it will be ending in an S, whatever the answer happens to be. So maybe I'll put this in now. Okay. Lives in, I think would be resides in. So boils with rage, seethed. And I was just talking about tense here. Boils suggests ongoing, present tense, seethes rather than seethed, which would be past tense. Might have to get rid of seethed. I'm feeling okay with resides in. Let's see which one ends up winning this battle. AA or JJ, for example. I have no idea. Starbucks competitor. Who competes with Starbucks? Goodness. Femme fatale. Pardon me. A deadly woman. Chinese nut. That's really a fruit. I have no idea. Brezhnev. Oh, what was his name? Antonin? No. Oh, Leonid Brezhnev was his name. The man with the incredible eyebrows. Lychee, which I feel always has a different spelling every time it appears in a crossword. So this fits Leechi, but I mean, there's so many potential spellings for this. I think I will perhaps leave this corner for now and come back later. Makes small in comparison. Dwarfs. You dwarf someone by making them look small. Like slow filers and fast drivers at times. No, I don't know. To thine own self be true. I'm not sure where that's from, but it knocks around in my head for some reason. Iditarod transport would be sleds, the Iditarod being, as it is, a sled race across Alaska, I believe, or that part of the world. Spot for an ornament. No, I'm not too sure. Rainn Wilson, who played Dwight in The Office. Sharpened would be honed. Yes, like honing your knife, honing your craft, sharpening. Like slow filers and fast drivers, they get fined. Okay, so you're driving too fast, you get a fine. You're late to file your taxes, you get a fine. All right, letter-shaped train track piece. Something rail, clearly. In which case, a spot for an ornament would be a car hood, I believe. Do people put ornaments on their car hoods? I suppose they used to. Once upon a time. I don't think they do that anymore because they would keep getting stolen, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure what letter, though, is the train track piece. Could be an A, I wonder. Oh, I haven't even read this clue yet. 101 across. Relationship featuring casual intimacy, or a hint to 6 pairs of intersecting answers in this puzzle. Okay, friends with benefits, I suppose. Yes, begins with F, F-E-R-I-N. Friends. Is that how you spell friends? No, that's how you spell friends. Okay. Friends with benefits. Okay. Casual intimacy. Now, what does that have to do with the intersections of, say, Joey and vacation? What does this have to do with friends with benefits? Friends, Joey. Benefit, vacation. Okay. That's actually kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I like that. I kind of like that, actually. So health, I suppose, being the benefit, and then Phoebe. Phoebe being the friend. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Oh wow. All right, moving on. 5 down as a whole. So Mojave, I believe, is usually spelled with a J, but obviously that wouldn't make sense with Phoebe. So as a whole would be overall then. Does that help? Remove surgically as tissue. Ab. No, still don't know. Let me check on that. I'll ask. Oh, of course. Let me check. I'll ask. Been asleep, say, still don't know. So Evan is a man's name. So potentially Ava would be the woman's equivalent. Okay, that makes sense. Still doesn't quite help. Been asleep. Pain. Rain. What does that have to do with sleep? I'll have to come back to that. Yeah, I'll have to come back to that area. Alternative to a nanny would be daycare. So that's a benefit. Rachel, apparently the mother of Joseph and Benjamin. Rachel being the friend. X. Oh, okay. We're talking about the Greek letter chi. Isaiah being the book after Song of Solomon, apparently. I think it's called a rill, a small inlet. I don't like that there's only one L. Oh, I don't think it is rill. There exists some, what's the word that I'm looking for? Some water feature called a rill, but I think here we're looking for a ria. Okay. Dred Scott was not free to sue for his freedom, apparently, which is kind of messed up. They should fight a war about that. A Bulldog fan in Connecticut. Bulldogs? Is that a team? I'm not sure. Santa. Okay, so one of these is a friend, and one of these is a benefit. So who else is on Friends? I'm not super familiar with that show, but I see a Phoebe, a Rachel, a Joey. I think there's a Ross and a Monica. So Santa Monica. Okay, got you. An org not getting many happy returns. Would that be the IRS? Not getting many happy returns? I suppose nobody's happy about putting in their tax returns. Van something Avenue, I don't know. Could it be Van Ness, potentially? I don't know why that popped into my head. That could be the case, because then the mutant who can freeze his own body would be something man. Stella would be astral, I believe, just being a synonym for the word stellar. of or pertaining to the stars. Fire starters would be flints. Oops. Yes, okay. Just got dragged over to somewhere I didn't want to be. Reasoned conclusion. No, I don't know. Still don't know about this bulldog fan, especially any and an I. That's a bit of an odd one. Brewski, a cold one. That's another slang for a beer. Pass me a cold one. I'll have a brewski, please. Beethoven's symphony, originally intended to honor Napoleon. I think that's Eroica. Ah, yes, of course. The heroism of our dear Napoleon. Contribute to as one's reputation. No, I'm not too sure. Expiates is a word that I have never learned the meaning of, so I wouldn't be able to figure out the synonym. Skier's conveyance. So, what is this called? A T-bar, right? You hold on to a. You don't hold on to it, do you? I'm not sure. Yes, you do hold on to a T-bar, and that takes you up the slopes. So that would be the skier's conveyance. All over again could be anew. And Tampa Bay athlete would be a buck. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I forget which sport that is. Expiate, still not sure. Reason, conclusion, I'll have to come back. Where have you taken me? Lil could be itty, as in itty bitty. Like some bridges, rental bridge. No. Trying to think of what a benefit could be that would end like that. Dental bridge. Oh, right. Very different type of bridge. That's a good throw off there. Had me thinking about big bridges. Twists off course as a ship. This would be yours. That would be the twisting movement of a ship or a aircraft. Some beans or sources. No, I'm not too sure. GeoGuessr would be the online game. Some beans or sources. Still not sure. Holistic contentment. So who have we got left? Ross, I think, is the last one. So whatever, I don't know why it's saying Sewer in American history, unless there was some man whose name was Ross Sewer. I'm not sure. Key for a quick exit would be escape. We're talking about the escape key on a keyboard. Foreign policy group, not too sure. Words of understanding, I think, would be IC. Words suggesting there'd be more than one, and here we have two. Moving around, I think, would be astir. Just means moving around. They stand for art, not too sure. At dawn. Okay, reaches a shared opinion about, agrees on. Still not sure about this foreign policy group. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what that could be. Holistic contentment. So this would be some benefit that you might get at a well-resourced job. No, I'm not too sure. Some beans or sauces. Could it be soya? Soya beans? Soya sauces? Maybe. I'll leave that in for now. At dawn would be early. Okay. Holistic contentment, wellness. Oh, yes, some companies offer wellness programs, I suppose. National Security Council would be, I suppose, the foreign policy group. Celebrity chef, no, I have no idea. They stand for art. No, I don't know. I really don't. Watchdogs warning might be a PSA, public service announcement from a, let's say, watchdog being like a, consumer watchdog. Targeted to, pointed, doesn't fit. I'll have to come back to that. Speaking of, came back as hair. Maybe it's not PSA. Maybe we're talking about ARF, ARF, favorite of actual dogs, a real life dog. In which case, targeted to, would it be aimed? No, that doesn't fit either. The reason why I've changed that is because of the feeling that came back as hair would be grew in, which would require an R here. Yes, I'm fairly content with making that change. Kind of sauce at a sushi bar would be eel, perhaps. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because then there'd be an AE here, and that's not acceptable to me. 94 across, not present and not excused would be AWOL. You are absent without leave. Liberal-leaning leftist, perhaps. I know quite a few people who would be very angry about this cluing, including myself. Giants in California and New York teams. Oh, yes, of course, just teams. San Francisco Giants and the New York Giants. So, of course, used to be both the New York Giants, but we won't talk about that. Bad thing to discover in the pantry would be a smell, I think. I would not be happy about that. Sylvia, no, I don't know. Rye is a type of bread, but bread does not fit anywhere, I don't think. Unless I get rid of leftist, that could be incorrect. George Takei would be, or George Takai, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, was Sulu in the original Star Trek. Involves, not too sure, an org that merged with the UFC in 2023. I had no idea such a thing happened. No, I don't know. Kind of party. Still don't know about that too. Furniture retailer owned by William Sonoma. No, I don't know. Oh, okay. Hang on. Rye could be something baked. No, bake. The reason why I don't like that is because no, I don't like any of that actually. So if I do have an I there, because it could be leftism or something along those lines. If I put an I there, what does that mean for rye? So rye is a type of whiskey as well. I was thinking of bread, but rye is a type of whiskey. I don't know who this Sylvia person is. I'm not going to be able to figure that one out by itself, I don't think. Kind of party. No. Could it be WWE? Did they merge with UFC? Maybe. Because then 1, 2, 3 across would be entails. Involves that entails something. So kind of hens is a type of party, but it's usually hens rather than hen, but sure, why not? Okay. The furniture retailer I think is West Elm. Now I don't buy my furniture from there, in fact. I don't think I'd be able to afford it. 40 winks would be a siesta. Although I would suspect it's less than 40, right? If 40 winks is the number of winks in a full night's sleep, 8 hours, I don't think a siesta would be 40. I think it would be less. Anyway, we don't have to talk about that. Cherokee and Cheyenne are both tribes. You can put a ring on it. Earlobe. Yes. Okay, so then the warning is G, not ARF. And then targeted to would be geared. So it was eel, after all, which is nice. So yes, you can put a ring in an earlobe. No, still don't know who Ina is. They stand for art easels. Now, soys. I mean, it's soy sauce, soybean, but yeah, ending that with an S just feels wrong. So easels are a stand that used for art. Sport wear. Okay, so I'm sporting something. I'm wearing something. In which case, Ina Garten is our celebrity chef, who I still have never heard of. Back could be. Depend. Doesn't seem right to me. No, I'll leave that out. This other X, I also don't really know. Attack, perhaps seize on. Seize on. Seize on, attack, potentially. I'll leave it for now. All right, boils with rage. Oh, I'm back here. Gets 40 winks. Rests. Rests. Okay, that one I'm more content with that being 40 winks. Yeah, look, I'm not sure who competes with Starbucks. Beat it. I'm something. I'm telling you to go away. AA or two aces or pair ace, pair jack. I'm with you. We're talking about poker hands or even blackjack, I suppose. Wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm there. I'm there. For sure. Yes. Simply yes. Come to. Amscray. This is Pig Latin for scram, which is slang for beat it, which itself is slang for go away. There's many layers to this. Pig Latin being stupid. Now, how do you spell lychee in a way that fits? Because I've got lie, I've got chi. So what could go in the middle that makes sense? Maybe a T? Lychee? Is that a different thing to a lychee nut? Maybe I'm thinking of something. I've been thinking of something else entirely. Lychee and lychee, are they not the same thing? Starbucks competitor then, is that Pete's? Maybe? Oh, okay. Boils with rage, sees red. Okay, that's why the tense makes sense because, yes, it is present tense. Zipped. Zipped. I would think sent, as in you zipped something to someone. You sent it, but in this case, it is a D, and I'm fairly certain it will remain a D because we have I, S, and C all confirmed with Leonid Brezhnev, Friends with Benefits, and Carl Hood. So it is no disc, I'm fairly certain, unless there is some other word that could go before disc, but the D itself, it certainly has to stay there. Zipped, so what? Seed. What does that have to do with seeds? This familiar initialism, I think, is not so familiar. Not to me, at least. Z, what? And then this X, oh God. All right, maybe it's not seized on. Maybe it's something else. Maybe this is where the mistake is, because no disc, I'm fairly certain of. Zipped, yeah, look, I might just come back to that, because there's this whole central section that I've not been able to get any access to at all. Sunblock, I don't know. Wish someone happy birthday, I don't know. Ah, yes, mine's one's P's and Q's would be behaved. You behaved well, you said please and thank you. Surgically remove, no, I'm not sure. Rebs. There is a team that calls themselves the Rebs. Oh, America, you ridiculous country. All right. Resettles would be moves elsewhere. Ablate, perhaps? Remove surgically? I've heard of ablation shields on things like aircraft, but that's a very different process of almost tearing apart rather than surgical removal. But lane makes sense, right? So you've been asleep and you're still laying. This may come back to bite me. I'll come back to it later, though. Wish someone happy birthday. No, still not sure, even with that D. Extra. Oh, goodness me. Is there another? There is another friend? Hang on. So, what did I have so far? I had Phoebe. Yes, I have Joey. I have. Oh, God. Where's the other one? Where are the other ones? There's Ross. So, Ross, Phoebe, Joey, and there was Rachel over here, and Monica over here. So, Monica. Oh, Chandler. Chandler is a place, apparently. I mean, it's the only one left. So I'll put it in, and it fits. So Muhammad Ali used to be named Cassius Clay before he changed his name. A do-over at Wimbledon would be a let. Some alcohol. Or places that prohibit alcohol. Dry. Yes, that makes sense. You can have a dry vermouth, a dry martini. Or it can be dry, as in they don't sell booze. All right. Something day. Billie Holiday's Portrayal. Ah, I don't know. I didn't see that film. I don't really know anything about it. All right. Purpose of some cameras. No, I'm not too sure. Pretty as a picture, I suppose. Extra would be a bonus. Okay, yes, that's a perk of a job. Sunblock is really very confusing to me. Clown around with food. Clown around with food. Would that be Ronald McDonald? McDonald, perhaps? Oh, yeah, and then MCs, rap battle participants. Michael Che is co-host of Weekend Update. And then wish someone happy birthday would be I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, security cameras. That is a purpose. Security. Could be Andra Day. For some reason, that name pops into my head. Sunblock. No, that doesn't help. I might leave that O there just in case it's incorrect. So, contribute to as one's reputation. So you could D. So it's D something UN T perhaps. Oh, card. Okay, so you did something with a card. Oh, behaves. Sorry. Behaves, not behaved. I was so caught up in tenses before, and I totally overlooked this one. Behaves well is to mind one's P's and Q's. So send a card. Okay, to wish someone happy birthday. Sun block NBA. Then I don't know what else could fit there. I don't know what that means. Sun block. No, I don't know what that means. Contribute to as one's reputation. So Dred Scott, correct. Eroica, yes. Dental makes sense given the theme. And then Tampa Bay Buccaneer. A new, yeah, okay. A new does make sense because sport being wear. And send a card. Yeah, okay. So that's all correct. So what would this be? Contribute to. So, no, I don't know. Let's try 14 down. Reason, conclusion. Reference. Reference? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. But it could. Something. Inference. Oh, yes, you inferred something. You made an inference. Iceman makes sense. He freezes his own body. I've never heard of Iceman. Ridiculous. A Bulldog fan in Connecticut. Like a win-win situation would be no lose. Okay, that makes sense. And expiates. Even this is throwing me off now. 8 net? It doesn't make any sense. Expiates 4. Cold one makes sense, yeah. Eroica, dental. So cold one, I'm happy with. It could be itsy. But sometimes itsy rather than itty. So that could be what's going on here. In which case, attunes 4? No, the attunes has 2 T's. Atones 4. Redound? Renowned, I would think. Unless that's a word and I've simply never heard of it. Redound. I'll have to come back to that. For now, attack. And season I'm not loving. Could it be out of office? That has an O at the end. O. I don't know why that would necessarily come from the Air Force. But it fits, potentially. Set on set, perhaps, and then X would be what? Could it be ton? Is that shorthand for ton? And then none of this adds up. Oh goodness, this area is going to get me stuck for a little while. We're at 33 minutes and 39 seconds. I was really hoping I'd be able to get this out a lot quicker than that. But now I'm very much stuck. Let's see how long this takes me. Okay, I'll get rid of the O's. Familiar initialism, so things like paid time off, but I don't know that would make sense either in the context of the Air Force. If it is a P, if it is back being depend, it would be more depend upon. No, actually, that's not necessarily true. We're talking about the person doing the backing. So I back you. I depend you? No, that doesn't make sense. X, could it be 10? Oh, right. Yes, actually, it can. It can, because X would be Roman numerals there. Okay, so we have set. Set something on. Attack. Set upon. Set upon. Okay, zipped would be sped then. Oh, defend and UFO. There we go. Ah, that wasn't too bad for a Sunday. I'm happy with that. Let's see. What did I get in the end? 34 minutes, 41 seconds. That's pretty good. I'll take that for a Sunday. Especially after Saturday, yesterday, where I was stuck for what felt like as long as it took me to do this Sunday is how long I was stuck on yesterday's. No, there were some good ones here, and the theme is actually quite funny. I like that. That's very, very unique, very interesting. Friends with benefits. Um, and the show, even though I haven't watched it ever, really, it exists enough in the cultural zeitgeist for me and many others, I'm sure, to be able to simply type those names in. Great. I'm just trying to think, are there any particularly tricky ones or ones that didn't really make sense? Defend did make a lot of sense in the end. Even the X's, where I was like, that's got to be a joke. No, they made perfect sense. We had 10, we had chai. Initialism being UFO. I suppose Garten is one that you either know or you don't, but thankfully I was able to figure it out from the crosses. Yeah, nothing too tricky. Eroica, I think, is it appears enough in the crossword, I think, because there are so many vowels that I've committed it to memory. Whenever I see the name Beethoven, then I'm fairly sure Eroica is going to be involved. Iceman, I've never heard of, but they clued it in a way to really push you in that direction. It was my first thought, and then I discarded it by essentially saying I've never heard of Iceman, and that it could be a throw off. But I suppose this Sunday is nowhere near as what's the word that I'm looking for? Hostile as Saturdays can be when it comes to cluing. It's rather more supportive. It wants you to win, unlike Saturdays that absolutely want you to lose. So that has been Sunday, the 28th of September, 2025, New York Times Crossword.